This 8-metre-high wall is one of the largest examples of Roman masonry still standing in Britain, 2,000 years after it was built. Find out where this ancient architecture is in just a few moments' time. On today's show, I'm with a jet-setting couple who've spent their entire married life travelling, but now want to put down some roots in the English countryside. As outdoor lovers, they get very excited by one garden.
Let's rock and roll!
And there's twice what they bargained for at the Mystery House. So how do you feel about potentially owning 2 houses, not one?
Excellent. I'm a bit scared, actually.
Today, I'm in Shropshire in Wroxeter, which in the 2nd century was the 4th largest city in Britain. Viraconium, as it was known by the Romans, grew into a thriving metropolis with a population of over 5,000 people. Known as the Old Work, this magnificent wall divided the municipal baths by the exercise hall in the heart of the city. And when this site was excavated back in 1859, it enthralled visitors, including Charles Dickens. Indeed, there are many things in this historic county worth writing home about. One of England's largest and least populated counties, Shropshire spans from its winding border with Wales in the west over to the extreme fringes of the Black Country in the east, with Herefordshire to the south. The River Severn flows through the county town of Shrewsbury, whose historic centre features a large number of half-timbered buildings. Ludlow, further to the south, has the edge when it comes to stunning Tudor and Jacobean architecture and is home to over 500 listed buildings. The medieval Ludlow Castle provides a dramatic centrepiece to the town, which is home to the renowned Arts Festival held every summer. And its past wealth from the wool trade is reflected in the Grade 1 listed Church of St Lawrence, which dates back to the 15th century. The undulating south of the county includes the Long Mynd, meaning Long Mountain, a heathland plateau set in the Shropshire Hills area of outstanding natural beauty. Shropshire's beautiful countryside comes with an affordable price tag. An average detached property here is £241,000. That's some £13,000 below the national figure. However, in the southeast of the county, popular towns like Ludlow and Bridgnorth tend to be rather expensive, whilst properties in the northwest can offer better value for money. But whatever your budget, Shropshire is packed with a great range of different architectural styles. Perhaps the most popular property style in Shropshire is the traditional timber-framed house. The streets of Ludlow and Much Wenlock are lined with fine examples of these oak-framed properties. This 3-bedroom Grade 2 listed cottage in Old Ludlow is on the market for just shy of £280,000. A common building material is Wenlock limestone from the South Shropshire Hills. This pale grey stone stamps its character most firmly on the town of Much Wenlock, where it's used in civil buildings, churches, and of course the local housing stock. This 2-bedroom 18th century cottage is priced at just under £155,000. There are some beautiful architectural styles here in Shropshire, but will any of them meet our buyers' expectations? Let's find out. Retired accountant Reg and his wife Jules, who works in IT, met in Australia and have been married for 23 years. After a jet-set lifestyle travelling between Sydney and their London flat, they're ready for the slower pace of the countryside.
My lifestyle has been very much international travel on a weekly basis and very much avoiding the English winter. But now, as Reg says, you're going to have to get used to it because you'll be moving to the country. I've come back to help him look for a property for us, for both of us.
Over the past 2 years, while Jules has been working, Reg has been searching for the right property. After looking at around 100 houses in various counties, they've decided that the area around Ludlow in Shropshire would be the best fit.
And we are looking for a community feel,
Yes.
and some of the places that we have seen around that area has offered us that.
Very much.
You know, sort of knitting circles, art, and walking. I mean, walking's pretty big in our lifestyle.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. We'll drive out of town and we'll do a sort of all-day walk, ideally with a pub lunch in the middle, which helps a little bit, you know. And then a few more miles after that to walk off the odd pint or two.
And as well as putting on their hiking boots, they have lots of creative pastimes lined up for their new life in the country.
The last few years is that I've been getting into painting. And then, of course, in downtime, I always like to be busy doing something, so got very much into the knitting being a bit of a craze. I've taken up landscape designing, and I'm wanting to elaborate on that. But I need space. And so I think what we're looking for, and because Reg won't let me paint inside, we're looking for outbuildings that I can actually be outside with my crafts.
I'm almost looking for a workshop as well, where I can maybe make odd little bits and pieces of furniture, just as a hobby, not as a commercial enterprise.
They can move quickly as the necessary finances are in place for the move.
The budget for our move is £370,000.
Jules and Reg have focused their search on the southern part of Shropshire and have a special interest in the area around the market town of Ludlow. We met in the county so they can tell me what they hope to find in their dream home.
Reg and Jules, great to meet you and welcome to, I'm going to say it, a very soggy Shropshire, but a beautiful county. Why have you decided to live here?
I think Shropshire, in actual fact, is very attractive to us from the point of view that we think we can get what we want here, for our budget. So we believe it's giving good value for money.
So are you done with city life now?
I've never enjoyed living in the city.
Have you not?
I'm a country boy at heart. I always have been, you know. But,
And I'm a city girl,
Yeah.
so this is a new experience
Yeah,
for me.
yeah.
So,
But looking forward to it.
I am, actually, yeah. I think it's going to give that real contrast. So Reg is going to take me off to the countryside and we're going to, go for it.
So now you've decided to settle here. What type of house are you ideally looking for?
3 bedrooms, large garden, garage workshop, maybe somewhere we can have a studio for Jules, maybe it's extra room in the house, and a kitchen which you can spread yourself around in a little bit. It's the old cliche, the heart of the home, but it is, isn't
Yes.
it? Yeah.
So remind me of your budget.
Well, we're looking at 370. For 370, we can maybe personalise the place somewhat. For the right property, which is a move into, as it stands, we could go a little higher, maybe another 20,000, maybe as high as 400,000.
Okay.
But that would be the absolute max.
So there is some flexibility there, but ideally you'd like to stick to the 370. Well, we do have 3 fantastic properties lined up for you to see. One, of course, is our mystery house. I hate to say it, but it looks like it might stop raining. We'll see how we get on. So, should we get started?
Let's do it.
Absolutely, good.
For their top budget of £400,000, our buyers are looking for a period-style property with a large sociable kitchen, 3 bedrooms, a craft room for Jules's knitting, along with outbuildings for her painting and Reg's furniture making, and up to an acre of land if possible. We've lined up 3 properties which we hope will fit the bill, and at each one, I'll be asking them to guess the price before I reveal it. The last, of course, is our mystery house, which could split them right down the middle. But now, it's time to get our search underway. For our first property, we're just 8 miles northwest of Ludlow, close to the village of Craven Arms. Known as the gateway to the Marches, it was once an important frontier trading post between England and Wales. It offers all the amenities they could ask for, including a local pub, a post office and a variety of useful independent shops. Our first property sits in a quiet location a mile outside the village and was originally a gamekeeper's cottage built in the 1890s to serve a local estate.
So we've brought you to South Shropshire. Craven Arms is just up the road, and this is your first property.
This is the first property.
What do you think?
I think it's a really good property. 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 I think it's a really good
A good start.
Yeah, looking good. I like the area in the woodlands. Fantastic, because I mean, just the wildlife and that we can take advantage of, or walking.
Yes, surrounded by walks around
Yeah,
here.
exactly.
Well, should we start the tour?
Yes, please.
The exterior has the period curb appeal they wanted, and as they'll see, that Victorian feel is still very evident inside.
So come on through. Right. So you've got a small porch there.
Yeah.
Now, the family never used the front door, but I wanted you to come straight through and to see the dining room.
Yeah, no, good proportions, isn't it, really?
I like the ceilings.
Nice height, isn't it? Yeah. But it's got a really cottagey sort of feel to it, you know.
So you get loads of light. You've got obviously an amazing view over the field. And you've got the Victorian fireplace, that's an original. Through the door to the right, there's another room in there, like a slightly smaller drawing room, which they currently use as their TV room. But we'll continue this way into the kitchen.
Okay. Brilliant.
A promising start with the reception rooms, but I'm hoping they'll also warm to the kitchen.
Now, you wanted a kitchen that was big enough for the two of you.
Yes, definitely. Something we can put a table in.
Yep. Well, there's one here now with benches.
Great. I think this is nice for sort of daytime sort of eating and for just the two of us, but, you know, we do like the idea of more formal dining.
Yeah. I had envisaged something a little larger for the kitchen, but I could live with it.
Yes. And what about the range? Have you ever cooked on a range before?
No, I actually haven't, but of course in Oz we used to have them all as the wood-burning ones.
Yes.
And brilliant baking. What's nice about it is sort of got that country feel in the kitchen, so it sticks with the period of the home, really.
Yeah.
The character charm downstairs seems to be holding their interest, but now let's see if upstairs can impress. There are 4 bedrooms in total. The guest double has a lovely feature fireplace, and there are also 2 singles, so one could be put to use as a craft room for Jules. All the rooms share a modern family bathroom, but we're heading for where they could sleep.
So I would call this the master bedroom. Not the largest. I think actually next door the other double is even larger than this, but I think they picked it because of the aspect.
Yeah, having the 2 windows there, I think is a good idea.
Yeah.
It gives plenty of light.
What about the feel for this property? You like this room, you like the aspect. You're being very polite about the house. Haven't heard any negatives.
As far as proportions-wise, it's good. Might like a bit larger, but we'll have another look and see what we think.
Okay, great. Let's head back downstairs. Reg, you lead the way and we're going to go outside.
Okay, thank you.
It seems the jury's still out on this lovely cottage. Maybe the outside space and setting will convince them. The total plot size is 1/3 of an acre and includes a large lawned area, a thriving vegetable patch, as well as a decent-sized work shed which they could use for their hobbies.
So is this enough land for you, do you think?
Possibly. I would certainly want to reconfigure quite a bit of it, I think.
So how much is this house worth? What's it on the market for?
I think it could be in the range of about 345.
Okay. Reg?
I think probably nearer 360.
I think your wife's got a new job as an estate agent, because you're absolutely right. £345,000.
Oh, okay.
You sounded surprised now I said that.
Oh, yeah, no, interesting.
Well, have another wander around,
Okay.
check
Yeah,
out all
we will
those
do.
bedrooms, then check out the land, the vegetable patch, the all-important shed, and I'll catch up with you in a little while.
Good, thank
All right,
you.
off you go. So, a good start, polite, but not overly enthusiastic, but it is only house number 1.
Comfortably under budget at £345,000, there's a substantial pot of money left over for them to add their own personal mark to this period property. On paper, it meets the brief, giving them a spacious kitchen, a separate formal dining room, 4 bedrooms, so space for Jules's craft room, and an outbuilding for Reg, all sitting on 1/3 of an acre.
First impressions of the house are good. Probably like maybe some outbuildings and maybe a bit more land, perhaps, but the essentials are here.
My first impression was a good, solid house, and coming into it, it didn't disappoint. Maybe one of the things against this property will be its actual location. It's maybe a little too isolated for if you like, to allow you to easily integrate into the local community.
Happy? You seen enough?
Yeah, no, I've seen that. It's good.
Checked out the vegetable patch?
Yes, have done, yeah.
Yeah.
Checked out the shed?
Yep.
The all-important shed.
That's right. Yeah.
Good. OK, let's go.
Due to its position on the border with Wales, Shropshire's history is one of turbulent territorial clashes, which can be charted by the huge number of fortified castles still in existence today. A prime example is the medieval town of Bishop's Castle, where the remains of its walls still survive. This historic market town is also home to a tradition that's been here since the mid-17th century, brewing real ale and beer. As Jules and Reg enjoy a long walk, topped off with a local pint, we arrange for them to meet head brewer Steve Wilmer, whose brewery has a unique claim to fame.
Good morning.
Hello, I'm Steve. This is the oldest brewery in the United Kingdom. It was licensed in 1642 by Charles I. There was a new tower built, a Victorian tower, in 1880, but that part, the black and white part, is medieval.
Wow.
Built before the advent of electric pumps, this Grade 2 listed building is a tower brewery which is gravity-fed. This means that ingredients such as malt and water are fed in at the top of the tower and are processed downwards by gravity.
Right, we're at the top of the tower. This is where the malt is. The malt is what we use for making beer. Different beers have different malts in them. So something like a stout, it'll be all a sort of like a really roasted malt. And if you smell it, it's almost like chocolate.
It is, actually. It even looks like chocolate.
Right, and then the lighter beers will be made with one that's only very lightly roasted. What happens next is they go down this chute, gravity takes them to the next process, which is the mash tun, which we mix them with water. It's like a big porridge, and they sit in there for a couple of hours, and all of the flavour of all the different barleys comes out.
The next stage is adding the hops, which are used to give the beer its bitterness, and the mixture is then boiled for a couple of hours before the fermentation process, when the yeast is added.
And what you end up with is a barley-flavoured water with yeast that's turned to alcohol, which is in effect beer.
And then from that process, then you just put it straight into the barrels?
Just put it in barrels. And it generally stays in the barrels a little while before we send it out. It does carry on fermenting in the barrels a little bit, and then obviously it goes out to the various pubs or outlets where they serve it.
So now Reg and Jules have seen how it's made, they get to sample the finished product.
So if you want to have a try and just see, you can taste.
I'm going to have a try of this one.
Have the stout. The stout is quite nice, the stout.
Yeah, it is
Very
quite nice,
rich.
actually.
That one I do like.
Yeah, that's a bit more malty.
So do you have different types of hops for the different beers?
We use about probably 6 or 7 different types of hops. But most of the hops we use, apart from maybe 1 or 2 brews, the majority of them are English hops from just down the road. Thank you very much. You're very welcome.
Thanks,
You're very
Steve.
welcome.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Cheers.
After a taste of Shropshire's hop heritage, it's time to see what's brewing in our search for Jules and Reg's new country home. We've made the journey close to the village of Bedstone by the borders with Wales and Herefordshire and 13 miles west of Ludlow. Set within the Shropshire Hills area of outstanding natural beauty, it's perfect walking country and is around 5 miles from the pretty village of Lentwardine, whose amenities include a pub and a post office. Our second house lies at the bottom of a valley with its own stream and, like our first property, was once a gamekeeper's residence.
So, this is our second property, a beautiful 1860s cottage.
Looks really sweet, actually.
Yeah.
Looks really, really nice.
Gives it a real sort of
Very.
feeling of time, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This is what you're after, isn't it?
Actually, yeah.
Intrigued? Want to go in?
Very much.
Yeah, yes, please.
I think so.
The outside of this beautiful cottage encapsulates the countryside dream. and they should be equally impressed when they see the interior.
At least it's lovely and dry and warm in here, so come on through. So, walk straight into the kitchen.
Yeah, nice.
Nice feel, nice layout.
Yeah,
The central
very
layout.
cottagey, isn't it?
The kitchen, like a lot of the house, has been done very, very recently. So, I mean, you've got new units, everything, double sink, you have your range.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
That's right.
Lovely style.
Yeah?
Nice style.
They've blended the modern in with the old quite well, I think. That's right.
So as you can just see, there's a doorway through there. There's a huge utility room which runs the sort of side of the property, as well as a downstairs shower room and toilet.
That's a good idea.
As well as character, this cottage also delivers on space, as they'll see in the living room.
Lovely.
Oh, I like this.
Has a contemporary feel.
Very nice.
It's got a warm feel to it.
And notice the fireplace there?
A very contemporary wood burner,
Yeah, no, that looks good actually.
which apparently gives out plenty of heat in the winter. And if you look to the right, you can see the old bread oven.
Oh, right. Does it still work?
Probably not.
I've just got into some bread making, so I thought
Have
that would
you?
be good. Yeah.
It's a lovely feature. OK, let's head upstairs. Thank you.
That sympathetic mix of character and contemporary continues upstairs. While there are just 2 bedrooms here, they're both a very good size, and they share a stylish panelled family bathroom. But I'm going to show them the master.
I really love it up here. Because when I think cottage, this is what I have in my mind.
Yeah, I can understand that, yeah. It is quite sweet, isn't it?
Yes, it's got a little bit more of the old world about it,
Charm
but it
to it.
works.
Look at the windows, the lattice windows. They've taken out the side panels and put in glass.
That makes all the difference.
Yeah.
The light, yeah.
Did you like what you've seen so far?
Yes.
Downstairs is really good. I like the utility area. That's really extended the kitchen area. And it's been nicely done. So this just sort of complements it.
Although upstairs doesn't give Jules scope for her craft room, outside has lots of potential, as there's a separate studio currently being used as an office, which comes with plenty of storage space that would suit Reggie's furniture-making ambitions. All told, the land comes in at 0.8 of an acre, complete with greenhouses and a vegetable patch.
Let's rock and roll.
It's what lies at the top of the garden that's really going to sell this property to them, and it's well worth the climb. Inside this cabin, there's enough space for all the arts and crafts Jules could want. And this outbuilding has a mezzanine bedroom too.
Step inside
Oh my goodness.
this
Oh,
amazing little lodge.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
oh. I could live here.
So do you like?
I like it's brilliant.
This would make a great studio
Yeah,
in a
this
way,
is
wouldn't
nice.
it? You know,
That's what we had in mind for you.
Sort of wasn't expecting that. Like you just have the cottage, but then to have this little like outhouse as such, so unusual
It
to
is.
sort of like find that. But from a studio perspective, brilliant.
So we pretty much delivered the elements they were after, and as a whole, it seems to fit the vision of their country home.
So before I ask you the price, I've got to ask Jules, you wanted a slice of country living. Is this it? Is this the magazine ideal as you open the pages?
It is for us. It's sort of very Beatrix Potter sort of feel to it.
Yes.
You know, it is quite exciting in a way. I mean,
Fairy
I haven't seen-
tale-ish?
Very much. Yeah. I'm just looking for the toadstools and the little fairy mushrooms and things. You know.
Well, that all sounds very good. OK, decision times,
Yeah.
money,
Yeah,
money. Who wants to guess the price first?
Well, since I looked at badly last time, I'm going to stick with my 360.
OK.
I'd say right about that. I'd probably say 365.
Right. Has recently come down, actually. It was on the market for $399,000. It's been reduced to $385,000.
Wow.
Why don't you go back down the hill and I'll see you when you're ready.
Good. Thank you.
Off you go.
Thank you.
Priced within budget at £385,000, this immaculate country cottage needs no work and meets their criteria in so many ways. It has a bright, spacious kitchen, a living room with wood burner, 2 bedrooms with a third in the log cabin, and the 2 outbuildings give them both space for their creative pursuits.
My first impression of this house was just absolutely wonderful. It's just so cute and cosy. I mean, coming into the kitchen here, it's just lovely. And then outside was just fantastic. Like the little studio up the back there, I just can hardly wait, you know, to make that, you know, something that we could utilise.
Well, my first impression on approaching the house was might be a little on the small side. But coming into the house, I was surprised how roomy it was for a cottage. The location, I would have thought, might be a drawback to the value of the property.
Right, you two happy? Seen enough?
Yeah, good.
It's quite a lot of land there, isn't there?
Yeah, no, it was a bit of a surprise actually, and the house is just lovely. Real curb appeal on the house.
Okay, yes.
And options with those outbuildings.
Yes,
definitely.
you could certainly do something with those storage sheds.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, let's grab those umbrellas because we haven't seen the last of the rain, I'm sure. And we'll head back up the hill.
As the sun sets over the spectacular countryside here in Shropshire, day 1 of our property search comes to a close. After 23 years of married life travelling between Australia and London, Jules and Reg have decided to put down some roots in the Shropshire countryside. So far, they've seen 2 attractive period properties, which deliver different land and outbuilding options, and both priced under their £400,000 budget. But coming up, it's double trouble at the Mystery House.
Whoa.
I don't know what to say yet.
And I find out if the rural dream came true for some past escapees.
Reg and Jules have already viewed over 100 houses in various counties throughout the UK. And although they were very polite about the first 2 properties we showed them, I don't think we've quite cracked it yet. So will our mystery house give them the slice of English country living that they so crave?
Our mystery house lies just 5 miles south of Ludlow in the village of Brimfield, which straddles the Shropshire-Herefordshire border. It's got that strong community feel they wanted, with a pub and village hall providing great venues for social gatherings. There's also an impressive Grade 2 listed church with a timbered tower that dates back to the 13th century. Set in a quiet lane towards the edge of the village, the twist with our mystery property is that it's made up of 2 dwellings. The older black and white residence is Grade 2 listed and was originally built for the workers at the local rectory.
You have seen so many properties already. I don't think 1 house is enough for the 2 of you. The reason it's our mystery is it's 2 houses.
Whoa. Whoa.
I don't know what to say yet.
The good news is they are attached.
Yeah.
I can see, yeah. So a bit of old and a bit of new.
A bit of old and a bit of new.
Bit of Reg, a bit of Jules.
Vintage.
So cruel.
So how do you feel about potentially owning 2 houses, not
Excellent.
1?
Excellent.
A bit scared, actually.
Happily, our mystery property isn't quite a his and hers setup, as the 2 houses are linked on the ground floor, which makes the most of the 2 contrasting styles. I wonder which they'll prefer.
So here we have 2 houses, 1 home. So to start the tour, old or new?
Old.
New.
She got in there first. You win. Follow me. So as Jules won, we'll start off with the oldest part of the house.
Wow.
Well, what do you think about this?
It looks lovely, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just got so much character.
It reminds me so much of when I first came to England and I thought these were all museums, didn't realise people actually lived in them.
Yes.
But there's so much light for, a cottage of this age, where they traditionally had small windows.
Yes.
But there's so many of them.
And that, of course, was the original exterior wall.
I see.
There was your front door.
Oh, yeah.
And there would have been a partition here. There would have been 2 rooms. They've actually knocked it out, so it sort of flows more, but they use that as their office. And this is a sort of second sitting room.
Lovely.
There are 2 sets of stairs in this property, one on each side. The staircase in the old part leads to the 2 guest bedrooms, both of which have a huge amount of character with those gorgeous exposed beams. But we're returning through the hallway past the back kitchen and shower room to explore the modern part.
The new part of our mystery home. You have probably noticed straight away we have 2 kitchens. Now, the current owners use the old kitchen in the old part of the property because they love this room as a family room.
Yeah, I can see that one.
Oh, that's a good idea, actually.
think so, yeah.
Looking good.
So do you like what you see so
Yeah.
far?
I do, very
Good.
nice.
Our mystery home of 2 halves seems to have struck a chord with both of them. We'll go up the new staircase to see the master suite.
So I like to think this could be where you 2 sleep.
Oh, it's cosy.
And you have
Oh, look at the view,
that
Rich.
amazing view.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Like it.
Good. Next door, you
Yes.
have your bathroom.
Oh, yes.
And then just poke your head in that end room.
Oh.
Could
Look
be
at that.
a bedroom. I love it. Been made as a dressing room.
Yeah.
Do you like?
Very nice, Nicki. Yeah, very good.
Our mystery proposition so far is scoring highly, but we've still got the all-important land to consider. And outside, there's around 2/3 of an acre of landscape grounds, including a pretty pond. And to top it all, there's a range of outbuildings to house all their hobbies.
You've got sort of the open building there, which is a great workshop. At the back, there's a sort of a greenhouse potting shed.
Yeah.
But then you've got this impressive building next door, which is an even bigger shed. I would probably call that a barn.
Yeah.
If that wasn't enough, there's like an office at the back with a mezzanine floor.
I think it's fantastic. I mean, for all the things as you described that we want to do, like with the artwork and, you know, Reg with doing his hobbies. I think it's great.
Good.
Yeah, room to breathe.
So it's come to that time. Who wants to go first?
My guess is going to be over our budget, so I'm going to go for 415,000.
Okay. And you're talking your top budget of 400,000 there, aren't you,
Yeah.
Reg? Okay.
And I'll go in at 400.
If I gave you £50 change, would you be happy?
I think so. I think
wonderful.
so.
The asking price is £399,950.
Well, I'm excited now.
Good news?
Very good news.
Yeah.
You've done a really good job.
Yeah. No, this is our image, that what we wanted is the garden, the outbuildings, the character on the house. I mean, what more could we want?
Have a wander. Please do. We love our mystery properties for that
Yeah.
reason, because they're always something a bit different.
Yeah.
Take your time, and I'll catch up with you when you're ready. Off you
Right.
go.
Thank you.
What can I say? It is the most amazing house with the outbuildings, the garden, fantastic location, so much going on right on their doorstep. Well, I think it would be perfect for them.
Nipping in under their £400,000 budget, our mystery property gives them the lifestyle and location they dreamt of if they can get their head around the quirky layout. It features a new kitchen diner, a cosy living room, 3 bedrooms, extensive outbuildings, all wrapped up in 2/3 of an acre of land.
Oh my goodness! Look at this! This is so exciting. I can just see everything.
That's amazing.
Oh, look at this, Reg. There's another room here and upstairs as well. Wow!
Okay.
This could be the studio.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
You know, it's got virtually everything we're looking for. The fact that you've actually got 2 distinct houses, but they actually make one home. And I feel really positive about this.
The most exciting part of this particular property is the outbuildings and the garden. I'm just so excited about that. It's really what we've been looking for, so that I can do all my crafts and Reg can do his bits and pieces, and we can really get involved. So I think it's a good place for us, and I'm sure Reg and I'll have a lot to talk about.
Have Have you seen enough of our mystery house?
I'll say.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm just amazed. I don't know what to say. I'm speechless.
Well, speechless, hopefully, in a good way. So let's go somewhere quiet and we can discuss it in a little bit more detail.
Excellent.
Yes.
Here on Escape to the Country, we often get asked if any of our house buyers end up buying one of the properties we showed them, and if so, does it change their lives? Well, today I've come to meet a couple that not only ended up buying one of those houses, but have established a very successful holiday business here in the country as well.
Just over 2 years ago, Richard and Anna Thomas moved from the busy Hertfordshire town of Berkhamsted to a beautiful Shropshire farmhouse that we found them. Along with a 15th century home for them came 2 barns which they planned to convert into holiday accommodation.
As it stands in South Shropshire, where we are, in order to build the eco-lodge that you want, you'd have to apply perhaps for change of use of the land. What do you think?
It's great.
Let's see how they've been getting on.
Hi, Anna and Richard, lovely to meet you.
Hi, Nicki. Nice to meet you too.
How wonderful to see your home.
I know. Well, it was good to have you back, yeah? And see what we've done.
Fantastic.
The original plan was for them to build eco-dwellings on their land, but now they've invested in livestock instead. Their first animals being sheep that they bought with the help of the Shropshire Smallholders Group.
So you've obviously drastically changed the way you live your lives, just looking at the sheep standing next to us. But I know that you were really passionate about trying to be, well, sort of as eco-friendly as possible.
Yes.
And also sustainability was high on your priorities, wasn't it?
Yep.
Trying to grow your own.
Yes, we have. We've been quite fortunate. We've grown our own vegetables, potatoes, onions, cabbages, garlic,
peas,
broad beans,
Goodness.
Jerusalem artichoke, all sorts. And we have all of that, and then we have the eggs from the chickens, and then we've got 2 pigs, Berkshires. Again, that was through the smallholders group, and they're just perfect. The pigs, aren't they?
Yeah, we've been self-sufficient in pork for the last year.
And we could possibly have our own lamb.
Is this a side of the business that you want to grow?
Not necessarily. It's not really a business. It's more of a hobby that's slightly getting out of hand.
Yeah,
I think, because it is just for us. I don't think we could make a living out of this. For us, the holiday let is the living still, and this is just a sideline.
So how about those holiday lets? So far they've renovated one of the barns, adding huge floor-to-ceiling windows where the black thresher doors used to be. They've built a fireplace from reclaimed brick and installed a magnificent kitchen, resulting in a radical transformation.
Now, I know it was always your dream to be able to have sort of holiday lets, have guests here. Has it lived up to your expectations?
Yeah, definitely, and more, really. I mean, this is our first year. We've been 50% full over the summer, our first summer, which has been good, and that'll go through until October. We took our first booking for 2013 this morning, which is good.
Which is excellent, yeah.
So a great start for Richard and Anna in their move to the country. We wish them well with the renovation of the second barn.
I mean, it's great to see and hear, you know, it's been such a success for you both, but I'm sure it was such hard work. Would you do it all over again?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I
It
has been hard work. We've learnt a lot. We've been well supported by friends here since we've moved in. But you know, there's nothing that's insurmountable, and it just takes a bit of learning and application to get on with it, I think.
No regrets escaping to the country.
No.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm really pleased for Anna and Richard, and it's worked out so well. Now, after spending the best part of 23 years living on opposite sides of the world, Reg and Jules have decided now is the right time to live in the English countryside. But have we found them their dream property? Let's find out. Well, Reg and Jules, what a great few days we've had.
Absolutely.
So let's start with the very first property. It was a gamekeeper's house, about 110 years old. What were your first impressions when you saw that?
Bags of outside character, you know, good solid house.
Yes.
I thought if we had a bit more land, because that was interesting, Nicki, you know, when you pointed out it was a third of an acre. And I actually didn't feel that. So it made us really think, well, you know, do we want more land? You know, do we need more budget? So it made us think a bit.
Yeah.
So our second house was a gamekeeper's cottage. I think this is going to be the gamekeeper's cottage tour of Shropshire, but a very, very different property.
I thought the cottage was actually magnificent. It was a picture postcard on the outside, and inside it had been sort of modernised, but sympathetically. So you had a really good mix of the old and the new.
It wasn't a large place, was it? But it
No.
actually, the contemporary feel of it, and the bits and pieces done was great.
Yeah, the location probably bothered us somewhat. It's beautiful in the valley, but access during winter months would be something of a concern, I felt.
So, of course, we then took you to see our mystery houses, which were attached to make one property. But did it give you the slice of country living that you were so after?
Well, I loved them both. I really did. I tend to be more of a modernist, and so the newer extension I felt just wonderful. Good feel to it, lots of timber, which gives you that sense of permanence. But the older cottage had that too, you know. But I think the two houses together really make a really good home.
I thought they were fab. I mean, that family area there, I mean, we could just see ourselves with that. Bread baking, me cooking, making the jam, Reg reading the paper, you know, the radio on. We've got it all set there. And then the older part was really nice and cosy with the fire and that. And we thought of even the other bit being sort of the dining area. So lots of potential in that house.
Definitely. And talk to me about outbuildings and land.
The outbuildings, I mean, they were everything that we needed and more.
So I'm getting a pretty good vibe as to which one was your favourite property, but where do we go from here?
Well, as you said, you're getting a pretty good vibe, and we've got strong leanings towards a mystery house. The next move for us would be to take a second look at the property, go away, do some sums, because it is at the top of our budget.
And Reg is the accountant, so he's got to work that out.
Yes, that's right.
That's his profession.
And I feel quite strongly about it, and I think it might mean raiding the pension pot.
Really?
But I think I feel good enough to say that at this moment in time, you know.
I really, really hope it works out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. It's been a pleasure, both of you. Thank you. What a brilliant couple. And having searched for over 2 years and viewed, well, it has to be over 100 properties, I think we may have found Jules and Reg their perfect escape to the country home. I sincerely hope so. Until next time, bye-bye.
Reg and Jules did go back to see the mystery house, but they're still considering their options, so there's no offer as yet. If you'd like to escape to the country in Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland or England and need our help, please apply online at bbc.co.uk/be on a show.